last Contender Series night of the season. It's week 10. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Andy from WagerTalk and Winning in the Shadows. Let's start breaking down these fights. It's $5 Tuesday. We have our last $5 Tuesday play of the season, and it's the last Takedown live show of Contender Series season. So comes to an end, but let's go out with a bang, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. We're starting off with Mario Mingaj versus Wes Schultz. My take on this fight is neither of these guys are very good, but Mario Mingaj is really not that good. He has 3 straight wins by triangle choke, and it would be one thing if they were really impressive or if he did amazing things to set these triangle chokes up, but he doesn't. He just kind of accepts guard, falls down, gets on the bottom, stays on the bottom until he throws up a triangle choke. And the fact is, he did it against a guy that was 1-0. This guy, Kendram Pilata, how that guy fell into a triangle is beyond me. He was on top the whole time, and literally Mingaj had one route to victory, and somehow he pulls it off. And then this guy was a million years old. They didn't even have his age up there, but he's an older guy, and it was an ultimate setup for a triangle choke. But this guy's striking is basically non-existent. It's submission or bust. And Wes Schultz, he likes to get fights to the ground. I don't even think he's going to mess with it because his striking's not that good, except it's way better than Mingaj's. So if you recognize Wes Schultz, it's because he lost on Contender Series. Malik beat him up pretty bad. Even though he made it into round 2, he was getting worked the whole time. But he has a guillotine choke over a guy who barely had a pulse. But this could be a sloppy, messy fight, but in the end, Mingaj is just going to try and get submissions, and I actually think Schultz is going to win this on the feet by his striking, and Schultz is not a very good striker, but when you're saying what's the biggest mismatch in here, it's Schultz's striking over Mingaj. Mingaj is such a fraudulent 7-0. Schultz would have to be a real dummy to get involved in a grappling submission match with this guy, so the pick is Wes Schultz. Not picking this fight to go the distance or finish because I just think Schultz is going to use his striking and eventually get the win. So, but keep in mind, guys, it's the last Contender Series of the season. These guys have to go for broke. You cannot put on a boring performance on Contender Series, but you really can't do it on week 10, last one of the season in front of Dana White. So, who's going to try and make this exciting? Well, it's going to be Schultz, who was on Contender Series before and lost. So he knows he needs to have a good performance. So expect him to push the pace here. Up next, we start with Azamat Nuftillaev against Jovan Leka. Car crash. These are 2 big guys. We've seen this a million times on Contender Series. When you have 2 big guys that know they need to put on a good show, this fight is not going to go the distance. So Nuftillaev, 13-1-1. He likes to get fights on the ground. Not impressed with his level of competition. Some of these guys that he's gotten on the ground, he's just been able to lay on and control and eventually get the finish. Like this dude, he got the north-south choke, was an absolute bum. This guy, Fernando Batista, not much better. So Nuftillaev hasn't had to use a lot of skill to get guys on the ground. It's just been the other guy wasn't very good, and he used his power and strength and, bulldogged him to the ground. I don't think he's going to be able to do this against Leka. If you watch face-offs, holy cow, was Leka bigger. My God, I did not realize how much bigger he was going to be. Again, you've got a guy who's a much better striker, kind of like the Wes Schultz fight. Leka's much, much better on the feet. Leka just has to stuff a couple takedowns and keep this on the feet, and he will win a striking match. Keep an eye on leg kicks. If Leka can land a couple leg kicks, that's going to make it really hard for Nuftillaev to get this to the ground. Leka opened as a favorite on my article. I said I like him as an underdog. Now he's already moved to the favorite, so the markets are kind of agreeing here. So can Nuftillaev get it on the ground? Can Leka keep it on the feet? But regardless, you're taking some kind of under on this one. 1.5 is pretty juiced, like -175 or something like that. I don't hate it. We've seen these big guys. These fights don't last long on Contender Series. They know they need to put on a show, both of them. So you would rather lose an exciting car crash rather than win a boring one in front of Dana White. So we mentioned that it's the last $5 Contender Series bet. We're coming off of 2 winners, guys. Join us on the last bet. You have to. Just join us on the last bet. We've been winning on Contender Series. It's the last show that we're going to do for Takedown Live. join us on the $5 bet. I love the bet. I've already bet it with my own money. Just join us on this bet, just for old time's sake. Yeah, it's important to build bankrolls, and yeah, we want you guys to win, and yeah, we want you to make money, but it's been a hell of a season on Contender Series. We told you we were going to make every $5 Tuesday play for Contenders a Contender Series bet. We've done that, and we're looking to go out with a bang. So it's $5, get our best Contender Series bet. And also, as we mentioned, the last Takedown Live episode of the season is tonight. That's on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. This is the best show of the year. First off, we get to award the BMF every night. For the Contender Series, we'll let you guys vote, and you tell us who's the baddest mofo on that episode. And tonight, we get to award the BMF of the season. Like, honestly, we've done really good on these. Carlos Prates, he's going to be a title contender, and he was a BMF. Loner Kavanaugh was a BMF. So we got some really, really good nominees. So join us tonight. We do write-ups for all of the fighters that get contracts. So you guys can have screenshots of those. That way, when these guys get to UFC, you have the write-ups in there. So it's a lot of fun, ton of live bets. Live bets have been fantastic. So join us on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel, and we're going to make sure that we make this a winning night, last night of the season for Contender Series. All right. We move on. Michael Oliveira. A lot of money's coming in on Michael Oliveira against Victor Valenzuela. So Michael Oliveira, he kind of checks all the boxes as a really good prospect. He's athletic. He's tall. He's long. He just looks the part, and he's undefeated. He can be a little bit too patient. We saw this against Aldo Pereira. Like, he dominated the fight. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more aggression, and we know he's got it because he's knocked out a bunch of guys, but these guys that he's knocked out were not very good. And we've seen in his last couple fights, he's kind of going the distance, and I think that's a good thing for fighters' careers. We see this a lot, like when guys have early first-round finishes, when they have a smart camp, they go, hey, don't finish this guy early. Let's get 3 rounds. Let's get some cage time in there. He's not going to have a chance to do that tonight because Valenzuela is going to make this a firefight. This guy is all gas, no brakes. I mean, every single one of his fights is a finish. So Oliveira's not going to be able to sit back. He's going to either push the pace and try and get in Valenzuela's face, or Valenzuela's going to get in his face. There is no in between. There's not going to be a feeling out process for a round. This is going to be a big time, powerful match right off the bat. I'm going to lean Oliveira just because his length and his height is really, really good. Valenzuela is a live dog, though, so I wouldn't go big on this Oliveira. He's creeping up on minus 300 at the time of recording it. I don't think this goes the distance just because of Valenzuela's pace and how Valenzuela just comes in and swings big. Valenzuela's going to knock out or get knocked out. So if you like Oliveira, I would take Oliveira by finish. But I will be looking at playing some unders in this one just because of Victor Valenzuela and just because Oliveira's got finishing power. We haven't seen it recently, but he's not going to have a choice tonight. So as far as the pick, I'll just say Oliveira by finish. But I'm not betting that one with my own money. I'm not betting Michael Oliveira by finish. I'm going to be probably doing something on some kind of under in this one. We move on to Marwan Rahiki, I believe is how it's pronounced, and Ananias Mulumba, and I think Mulumba is a live dog in this one, but proceed with caution. I can't find a lot of these fights that Rahiki's been involved with. The only one I can really find is this one, kind of at the beginning, but here's what I can find of some highlights and stuff. Rahiki, he's really good, and we like guys that come out of Hex Fighting Series. That's a legit promotion. Down in Australia, I believe, and they face good competition. So Rahiki's long. He's got these long legs and arms. He definitely knows how to use them. Really good body shots. He's the favorite here, but Mulumba is no joke. He wasn't nearly as shorter Rahiki as I thought he was going to be. This guy can do it everywhere. He can get on the ground. He can submit you. He can ground and pound you. He can strike. His one loss, he fought a really, really experienced guy. He got choked out in the first round, but he followed up with 3 straight wins. Again, something tells me that this fight's going to be really competitive, and I wouldn't take unders on this one. If you're looking for underdogs, Mulumba is live, absolutely live. I don't think Rahiki should be this big of a favorite here. So for purpose of the video, Mulumba is going to be an underdog pick. But again, I haven't bet anything with that one, and that's going to be a hard fight to try and bet with real money. Juan Diaz and Juan Kwon. This may be my favorite fight of the night. Juan Kwon is an absolute beanpole. He is so, like, he's such a weird body. Like, you look at him and you're like, if you get touched in the body once, are you going down? He did. He ate a lot of body shots in his last fight and couldn't take it. He's so skinny. He's got this long neck, and his chin just doesn't look like it can absorb much. But, man, he hits with a lot of power. I love this fight under something because Kwon is going to get in Juan Diaz's face, and it's going to be kill or be killed. And Kwon is one of those guys that just the expression on his face doesn't change. He just marches forward. He's going to throw a lot of punches, and his chin's going to be up in the air. It's going to be exposed. It's going to be ripe for a counter. So can Diaz do that? Diaz is going to have to pick up the volume, and I think Kwon's going to make him pick up the volume here. I wasn't a big fan of some of these last few fights here, these going the distance. Again, not a lot of intensity. He's got a great record at 14-1. Not a lot of intensity. He's not pushing the pace. He's not throwing a lot. But surely he's gotten the memo that you're on Contender Series and you better do something exciting. So I think Kwon is going to decide the pace of this fight, and I think it's going to be fast and furious. I don't think Kwon is knocking out Juan Diaz. It's really hard to knock out Mexican fighters. So I'll take a sprinkle on Diaz maybe. I did worry that Diaz looked a little worried. He did not give me a lot of confidence at face-offs. We'll just say this. There was something about him that rubbed me the wrong way. But Kwon's lack of defense, how skinny he is, it's a little worrisome. So I don't think this fight goes the distance. But I will lean Diaz here to get the win here. There's just something about Kwon and his body type and the way he holds his chin up there that leads me to believe he can get knocked out pretty easy. All right, last fight of the night. And if you guys could, hit the like button. It really helps me out. Put your favorite bet down in the comment section. I always love reading those and seeing what you guys are betting. It's the last Contender Series of the year, so make sure you're joining us tonight on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel on Takedown Live. We're going to break down the fights, live bets. We award the BMF of the year, and we go over the fighters that got contracts and what we can expect from them in UFC. Should be a great, great night. But we finished with Freddy Vidal and Levi Rodrigues. If you remember Freddy Vidal, and we do because he cost us, he comes on against Felipe Franco in Contender Series. Now, Freddy Vidal's a gym teacher. He's like a part-time like fighter. So how did he win? Well, he needed a few things to go. He needed a few things to happen, and all of them need to happen. A, he needed a fighter with a bad game plan. He got it. He needed a fighter who worked too hard in the first round. He got that. We needed a fighter who didn't know how to wrestle, and he got that. And we needed a guy that had bad cardio, and he got that wrapped up all in a big bow. Vidal was bigger than Felipe Franco, and Franco was an absolute... I mean, the game plan was laughably bad. Franco goes for broke, doesn't get the takedowns, ends up on bottom, immediately, and then you just know you're done. Vidal is just way bigger than him, laid on him, and eventually gets the submission right before the fight ends. But make no mistake about it, Freddy Vidal is not good. He cannot strike, and Levi Rodrigues is a striker. Levi Rodrigues is a violent striker. Very, very easy way to predict this fight. If Freddy Vidal does not get this fight on the ground immediately, he is going to get knocked out. If Levi Rodrigues stuffs the first couple takedowns, Levi Rodrigues will win in the first round and probably within the first couple minutes. If Vidal gets this on the ground and works his wrestling, because Vidal has known he's had this fight since the Franco fight, so he has been doing nothing but getting in shape and ready for this fight. If Freddy Vidal gets this on the ground, he can absolutely submit Levi Rodrigues. There is no way this fight goes the distance. I will tell you that right now. It's minus 750 at the time of recording this. I will take some kind of under on this fight. I don't think Freddy Vidal is that good. He has one path to victory, and that's to get this on the ground and keep it on the ground and not ever be standing up for more than 30 seconds because Levi Rodrigues will knock him out. Vidal needs to tire Rodrigues out. But I think Rodriguez gets to the chin of Freddy Vidal and knocks him out. I would take, if you're betting this fight, I would say Levi Rodriguez KO first round, because that's how Levi Rodriguez is going to have to win. Again, if Vidal gets it on the ground, whatever, you tear up the bet slip. But Levi Rodriguez keeps this on the feet for any small amount of time, he's going to knock out Freddy Vidal. So Jim and I were talking about this. Does Dana want Freddy Vidal to win or not? I don't think they want Freddy Vidal to win, because I don't think they want to give him a contract. He is not a UFC caliber fighter in the slightest. No chance he's a UFC fighter. So I think they said, give him a striker who can knock him out. That way we don't have to worry about trying to give Freddy Vidal a contract. So my pick is going to be Levi Rodriguez KO in the first round for just a small sprinkle. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, $5 Tuesday play is up. It's our last one of the season. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing these $5 plays, and thank you guys for all the support. Hope you guys have cashed some tickets with us. Live bets continue to be just an absolute moneymaker for us and our bankroll. So join us tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. We're going to be breaking down the live bets. We're going to be going over the BMF of the year and everything like that. So join myself and Jim Takedown Live on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Good luck. Let's have a big Tuesday. Take care.